Hey, it's Richard and I'm doing another trail in the Carson Mountain Range in the Sierra Nevada. This one is called the Relay Peak and Mount Houghton Trail. It's a loop trail. It's over 11 miles long and has almost 2,000 feet of elevation gain. So right from the start, everybody, getting these very, very beautiful Manzanita bushes. Check out the fruiting body on those. And so what's cool about the Manzanita is that these berries, they are edible, but they're sour. So I am super stoked about climbing these mountain peaks today. Relay Peak is 10,200 feet above sea level, while Mount Houghton is 10,400 feet above sea level. Beautiful Lake Tahoe in the distance. Now, found out some crazy things about Lake Tahoe. There's 3 different fault lines in it, underneath it. One poses somewhat of a risk and can cause tidal waves up to 30 feet tall. Blew my mind. One day, you're at the beach on Lake Tahoe enjoying a beautiful summer day. Next thing you know, the ground starts to shake. And then there's a 30-foot wave coming after you. It's the best thing to do if you feel the ground shake. Get uphill, get out of there. The last earthquake in Lake Tahoe was 3 days ago. Sunday night, there was a 3.4 earthquake in the North Tahoe region, which is where the most dangerous fault line resides. To really make an impact though, the magnitude is gonna need to be 6.0 or above. We're halfway there. Okay, the connector road, Tamarack Lake Trail. Now, really, at this point, you could take either direction. We're gonna go left and continue along the bike path because I've taken the right-hand path up to Mount Rose and to Mount Tamarack. So I wanna see what this path's all about. Wow. I guess when a sign says it's a road, it's a road. It's okay. We're gonna do it. Look at those cars. Little bitty. They look so small. So one of the things that I kind of dig about the Carson Mountains is that they're all like really, really round compared to the rest of the Sierra Nevada, which have more of a jagged structure. And even though they're considered part of the Sierra Nevada, they're different. They're a different mountain set. Although it's hard to say what is the Sierra Nevada anyways, because there's tons of sub mountain sets within the Sierra Nevada. Another interesting fact about the Carson Mountain Range is that they've been formed quite recently in geologic time. The rocks were formed about 115 million to 200 million years ago. And then the fault line actually has pushed the rocks up more recently. In the distant past, this area was flat. The earth that we know and love is just a blip on the map in the sands of time, scales of geological history. This ain't forever, everybody. it is super windy on the south side of Mount Tamarack, which we can't see now, but it's right over this hill. And here's the negative side of having to share the road. Get some vehicles coming up it. It's the Park Service. Wonder if he would have gave me a ride. Eat my dust, hiker. As always, in the beautiful Carson Mountains, we got the woolly mule's ears dotting the landscape. We also had beautiful purple lupines down below, but now that I've gone about a mile in, I'm not seeing any. So we got a lot to be thankful for with the Carson Mountains, aside from these beautiful hikes. The big one is that it holds back 39 million gallons of water in Lake Tahoe. So basically, they're keeping Lake Tahoe from flooding out. Can you imagine that? They failed. That would be Armageddon-like stuff. It's also rumored that Lake Tahoe has its own cryptid called Tahoe Tessie. Stories of this cryptid date back to the Native Americans when they occupied this land. So I'm not quite surprised, because Lake Tahoe is a big girl. At her deepest point, she is over 1,000 feet deep. I absolutely love the chipmunks out here in this mountain range. They are everywhere. I've seen them on every hike, in copious amounts too. That was a hairy woodpecker. They are a noisy bunch of birds. Pretty shy too. Surprised it let me get so close to film it. They usually hop around the tree pretty quickly or take off and go find another. Look at that helicopter. Wonder what they're doing. Look at that. How strange was that? I don't know what they were doing. I really thought I was hearing a train for a moment. And I was like, where is the train tracks? It's pretty with the mountains in the background. Relay Peak, right that way. That's some kind of training with that stick, or it's a very important stick that they need for something very important, top secret stuff. Looks like we have arrived on the Tahoe Rim Trail. Looks like we're actually getting some tree cover now. Helicopter is removing debris for the power lines that run through here. Mystery solved. 100% solved. Oh man. And that's beautiful. Mount Rose, right there. So, Mount Houghton, right there. We're getting closer. Every step. Every step. So now we got a better view. We got Mount Rose in the distance, Mount Houghton Peak, which is part of this relay ridge that we're going to go across to get to Relay Peak. Now, Mount Houghton is the 7th tallest mountain in the Carson Mountain Range. Look at those rocks. Jagged. Mount Houghton actually gets its name from a professor of geography in the 1970s. His name was John Greenleaf Houghton, and he worked at the University of Reno. And in 1979, he was on a plane that crashed into Antarctica, killing him at the young age of 39. The U.S. Board of Geographic Names officially adopted Mount Houghton as the name of this mountain peak in 1988, so 9 years after his death. All right, hit a couple of switchbacks with a very modest elevation gain, but my breathing is very labored at this point. Whew. Oh man. One day I'm gonna get conditioned to these mountains. And then we're gonna do bigger mountains and longer mountains and with a bigger backpack. Dang. That's amazing. Relay Peak jutting up in the distance. Okay. Mount Houghton straight ahead. Relay Peak to the left. Let's go check out Mount Houghton first. That rock pile denotes the summit of this mountain. Check out beautiful Lake Tahoe. We are 7 miles away. Hard to believe it. That is 7 miles. We are 10,483 feet above sea level right now. I feel like I'm about to get blown off this mountain. See you later, Mount Houghton. Or maybe not. I'll see you in the background on our hikes. Woo! This wind is relentless. So I think we're going to that peak right there. Now, you remember Third Pond Creek from earlier? We can see it from the ridge. Look at it down there. We walked beside that thing earlier. Mount Houghton. We were just on that sucker. Look, snow. I thought all the snow would be melted by now. We still have quite a bit down there. It's hard to believe that is Lake Tahoe in the back. Look at that. Doesn't even look real. Right in front of me is the summit. Yes, we have arrived. We are 10,338 feet above sea level. That's a modest number, right? Woo, these views, man, they're excellent. Gorgeous Lake Tahoe. Back. All right, time for the descent down. Since the Mount Rose Wilderness boundary point, and unfortunate, I have this ugly tower. It's putting microwaves in my body ahead of me. So, to finish the loop, I guess we're going to descend along this road. Quite far from the radio tower now, way underneath it. I typically really dislike hiking on a road. Like, I have a huge disdain for it. But with this one, I'm not feeling that way. I almost feel like I'm a character from like Fallout or something, hiking the post-apocalyptic landscape. In a world where humankind has been desolated by AI, there is one hiker guy who wears floral shirts. Join the Floral Shirt Avenger as he hikes the landscape in Hikerland. I have the slightest idea what that is. Looks collapsed on that end. I'm not quite sure what that is, but it says it's used for civil and military defense functions. I think it's kind of funny that there's no like, don't come up here, stay away, no trespassing, none of that. It's just, if you destroy this or cause malicious harm, you're gonna be in big trouble. Just glistening there in the sun. I can't help myself. The water is just beckoning me to come. Just a little baby frog. There's baby frogs all through here. See it? Oh man. Look at it. It's tiny. That guy is so little. Like, I'm so afraid to step anywhere. There are so many frogs over here. Look at him go. There's one too. Who would have thought? There'd be so many frogs here. All baby frogs. It's getting ready to jump. Wow, that's a bit magical. Look how far that radio tower is now. The one that was on the top that we first encountered. Hey, if you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe so you can see my next trail. I think they should call this the Road of Desolation, because I've been the only hiker on it. I don't know what you think, and maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's something wrong with this pole. Oh yes, I can taste victory and some dirt.